We are going to do some St. Patrick's Day crafts and art. St. Patrick's Day is not for a couple of weeks, but I thought we might as well go green. And we all know green is made with yellow and blue, but we're not going to mix colors today, but we always like to talk about color. I made this little St. Patrick's Day ornament here using different colors of tissue paper, and I glued the pieces of tissue paper on a shamrock, and the shamrock is cut from green poster board, and I didn't want to cover the whole shamrock because I do want to see some of the shamrock on the edges. So when you do something like this, it's easy if you go ahead and have some tissue paper cut up in advance. Have it cut before you start the project. And what I did is I got long rectangles and I cut squares, just like this. And then before I knew it, I had a whole bunch of green tissue paper squares. And let's look at these squares. Look here. There's 3 different colors of green, right? 3 different colors of green. This is more like a true green, right? This green here has more yellow in it, doesn't it? And this green here has a little bit more blue. But they're all 3 considered greens. And I used all 3 to decorate my ornament. And I find it really easy to use a glue stick when you're working with tissue paper. So all I did was I got my glue stick, and I don't twist a whole bunch of glue, just a little bit. And so then I just rub the glue down there, and I can bunch this up and just mash it there. I don't even have to use heavy duty glue because tissue paper is so lightweight. A glue stick does the trick. So that's one little craft you could do with a shamrock. And I was wondering, did you all know that you can make a shamrock using 3 hearts? You know, shape is just the outline of something, right? But a shamrock shape is pretty hard to cut and draw all by yourself, right? So sometimes we have to think of an easier way of doing things so that we can get the same result, so that we can get the same piece of art in the end. So if you make 3 heart shapes, and you can ask someone to help you, if you make 3 heart shapes, you can make a shamrock. This card that I made is done with 3 hearts and a rectangle for the stem. So there's 1, and then 2, and 3. And they're overlapping so that it looks like a shamrock, right? But cutting out a heart is a lot easier than cutting out a shamrock, isn't it? So try to use your imagination to think of different ways to make your art. And then you could always decorate it. I like dots, so I put dots all the way around the border, all the way around the edge. You decide how you want to do it. It's up to you. And you know, when I cut all of these squares out of tissue paper, I was like, I think I want to do another art project with these squares. So I thought, maybe I'll do an abstract piece of art. Now, what's abstract, you say? Abstract. Is abstract real? No. Think of a photograph of the outdoors. That photograph is a piece of art of something real, a real tree. But what I did here is an abstract piece of art. And all I did was use watered down glue, just watered down glue, with a paintbrush, and I smeared glue on the paper and then put down one of my tissue paper squares. Then I painted over a little bit with my watered down glue. Oh, and something magical happened. This particular color of tissue paper becomes like a paint when it gets wet. Not every color does that. The light green that looks more yellow didn't do it, and the true green didn't do it either. But I kind of like the effect. And so I was like, now that I've done my abstract art that is basically made up of shapes, squares, right? I thought, let me think about what it reminds me of. Abstract art might remind people of all kinds of different things. When I look at this piece of abstract art, I thought of treetops. And so I titled it Treetops. And then when I looked at it longer, I thought, the area where it looks like there's paint from the tissue paper that got wet, that kind of reminded me of wind. And then I thought, I could have titled it Treetops in the Wind. So that would have been even more descriptive, right? It had a little more detail in the title. But I think Treetops is a good title too. Whatever your artwork reminds you of is what you can name it. And you get to decide. That's the fun of making art. So when you're doing an art project, think about using different shapes, different materials. This is a collage. I don't think I can get it to stand up again because it's just on thin paper. Anyway, when you're working with art, think of using different materials and be very creative. Do whatever you want and make it fun. And I know Miss Fay mentioned that we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. Next week, I'm going to be with my son who's coming to visit, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be praying for Miss Fay's husband because he's going to have something done with his knee. And I also pray and think of all of you all the time. I miss you very much, and I hope you guys have a really fun St. Patrick's Day. And remember, wear green. Love you. Bye.